It's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and I've come down to the northern end of the Forbidden City. This is the time that Paula Radcliffe will be running the marathon on Sunday. Now, a lot's been made of the air quality here in Beijing and the effect that it will have on the athletes' bodies. Now, if any athletes are going to suffer, it's going to be the marathon runners. So what we're going to do is a scientific test. I'm going to run from here to the Bird's Nest Stadium, which is just over 10 kilometres. I run that distance at home. I know the speed that I run at and I know my heart rate. We'll also measure my weight before and after, see how much sweat I lose. We're also going to measure the pollution and the humidity on this monitor, and all of that should give us a feeling of what the athletes are going to be going through. When I weighed myself at the start, I was a healthy 99 kilos and the pollution level was 65 milligrams per metre cubed. That's 15 milligrams above the World Health Organization target. I started off and I actually didn't feel too bad for the first kilometre, but I was already starting to get very sweaty and my breathing was harder and higher than normal. Done 2 kilometres now. Heart rate's about 10 beats higher than normal. I'm struggling to stick on my pace, so I already find it very hard, very hot. Losing a lot of water through sweat. And I'm only a fifth of the way. Just coming through halfway. Heart rate's about 15 beats above. I'm really struggling to hold the speed. I can hold it for as long as I can and then see what happens. The humidity level is 66%, which is high, but it's nothing compared to what it has been earlier in the week. But I was really struggling. I was in fact cycling past people with water bottles, people with a watermelon on the front of their bike, and was considering mugging them to have a drink. It was a horrible situation to be running in, especially with no water. Hey. Oh, I can start to see signs of the Olympic Park now. Big rings in the sky. This looks like they'll greet the marathon runners. And I hope to hell they feel a lot better than I do. To be honest, the pollution level didn't feel as much of a problem as the humidity, but in the time it had taken me to run from the Forbidden City through to the Bird's Nest, the reading had gone up from 65 to 95 milligrams per metre cubed. That's 30% more and nearly twice the WHO target. So pollution's another thing, the problem is the temperature and the humidity. I think by the time Paula Radcliffe has this view, should have been running for 30k longer than I was. Oh, rather her than me. My heart rate was 15-20 beats higher a minute. I was about 3 minutes slower over 10k, over a 36-minute run. It took me just under 39 minutes. It's brutal, and this is the best day we've had for running, so heaven help them if it's bad on Sunday. Yeah, I weighed myself before I started. I should take all this wet stuff off because it's all the sweat I had is stuck in here. I don't think they'll appreciate me going totally naked outside the Olympic Stadium, but if you just take a look at that, just wringing sweat out of it. I've lost nearly 4 kilos, 3.5 kilos in 35 minutes of exercise. I've still got my wet shorts on and wet socks. Can you imagine doing 4 times that distance? It's brutal. It's 3.5 litres of water. Nice flame though. I think they'll let me in to do a lap.